Okay, so you may have heard me say, okay, now when you have a quote that you really like, a quote does not mean someone was speaking, okay? And you see quotation marks. A quote means, oh, I like this statement right here. It says this, let's see, Denmark is, okay. Oh, this is huge. This is really going to help me out. I'm going to copy and steal these words. I actually like them. So when it says copy and paste quotes that you like, I'm going to paste this here because I really like this statement. It doesn't mean someone said it, but it means I stole it from the page. And look at what I'm doing since I stole it from the page. I put quotation marks around it. I didn't say it, but the author, the person who wrote this, said it. Okay, so let me show you the difference. Again, I stole words from the page, so I have to put quotation marks around it. This is an example of what someone actually said. Okay, so this person, this professor, said these exact words. So they are in quotation marks. But when I'm writing my essay and I am quoting an article, I steal the words from the page and I put it in quotation marks. And I'm going to show you several things that you have to do, several ways to actually tell me who said it, okay? So I can't just steal the words from the page and put them in quotation marks. I actually have to tell me who said it. I can introduce it this way. Okay, and then I have to do this weird thing here. What the heck? I have to tell you what page number it was on in the article or what paragraph it was. Okay, so this is one way to do it. I know Wordsworth said it, and now I know where to go in that article, in the article that he wrote. Okay, or I can steal these words here. Notice I didn't say anything about Wordsworth, but since I didn't say anything about him, I'm going to put his last name here. And again, I have the page number. Okay. Or what if I didn't steal any words from the page? This is just what I came up with. Wordsworth extensively explored the role of emotion in the creative process. I stole this idea from page 263. Okay. But I put it in my own words. So I didn't steal anything. I don't have to use quotation marks. Got it? So if you notice both the citations, this is called as in-text citation. This is what I mean by in-text. I am putting the citation in my paragraphs as I'm writing my essay. Okay, so that's in-text citation. Okay, this is what the citation looks like on my works cited page. You got it? So that's why I'm saying Wordsworth, because this is what it looks like on my works cited page. Remember, we already did the works cited page. Okay, what if I know the author? This is what it looks like. Stole these words. I introduced it. I see the author's name, so I just have the page number or the paragraph number. Okay, so it's always the author's last name. Stole these words. Human beings have been described as this. Oh, look, I did not say the author's name in my introduction to the quote, so I need to make sure I have Burke here. Got it? And then that's what my citation on my works cited page will look like. Got it? So I have the last name, then first name here. Again, this is all the stuff that ends up on that last page. So if I have a corporate author, I don't know who the author is. There's a special way to do it. Okay. Author page, classical literary works, so novels. So I give the page number, then the chapter. If I have same last names, I need to make sure I do first initial last name, because they may come from different things. So again, I didn't steal these words, but I got the idea from R. Miller. So I need to make sure I cite that. If I have multiple authors, I can do the last names like this, or I can set it up like this. Okay. And then that's what the works cited entry looks like. Remember, works cited, that's what goes on my works cited page. That's what it'll look like, okay? So I can cite the Bible, indirect sources. I can cite steal words from plays, but when I steal them from the plays, I just have to make sure that that I actually cite it correctly, okay? So it would go like that, Act 1, Scene 1. So all of these different ways, and you can slow this down. Electronic sources, there are certain ways that it has to look inside when you're actually writing in the paragraphs. Again, this is what will go in my paragraph. And I have to have these parentheses, okay? So let's actually look at a sample essay, okay? So you have to have these four parts. Shows you how to do that. And this is what I want you to see, okay? So as I'm scrolling through, oh look, do you see? You've got these in-text citations. So you cannot just quote an article. You have to, whatever you stole from the article, put it in quotation marks and then make sure you have the in-text citations. I just wanted to show you what it would look like in an actual essay. And then by the time I get all the way down to the end of the essay, here's my works cited page. Okay, and it's got all of these sources that, and when I say works cited, again, that means I actually cited these sources in my essay. I can look and I will find all of these last names in parentheses somewhere in the essay. Okay, so that's very important. You cannot put it on that works cited page if you did not actually quote them in your essay. Okay, so now I want to show you how to actually, how do I use quotations in my essay? There are certain formats that I have to use, okay? It's several different ways I can do it. If you have a really long quote, that means I stole a really big chunk from the article. You actually have to do it like this, okay? So you will not use quotation marks. I stole a whole bunch from that article. I actually have to indent a whole inch, so this is generally a tab. So here's the first line, all of the other, and the rule is for, if it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, okay? It's called a block quote, and then I do that. Okay. 2 or more paragraphs, I can use block quotes. I have to set it up. He argues, and then I have this long quote. I mean, this is long. I've got 2 or more paragraphs, okay? So I set it up that way. You will not be doing that in this essay. But what if I want to add or omit words? That means delete words. So let's say the author said something and I don't want the whole thing, okay? So I only want part of what he said. Let's see, I want to say Denmark is currently, and then a huge boost for its green credentials. I don't want all this other stuff in between, okay? So there's a certain way I have to do it. You see these, what we call ellipses. So if you notice, let's read this first one. I want you to pause the video and read this. Okay, these words right here were not in the text. I added those. So anytime you want to add something, you have to use brackets, okay? So the actual quote from the article said, some individuals make a point of learning every rumor or tale. But I added some individuals who retell urban legends. I added that, okay? That's adding words. If I want to delete words, it's just too much. Some individuals make a point of learning every rumor or tale. And in short time, okay, so there's more of the quote, but I didn't want to add all of that other stuff in between. So there could have been like a whole 2 other paragraphs in between. And I stole from the beginning and stole from the end. And you just put 3 dots there to represent, there were other words there, but I took them out. Okay, so again, the rule is if I'm stealing anything that I like from what the author wrote on the page, I must do the MLA formatting style for what we call quotations. So stealing words is called quoting an author. And if I want to quote the author, I've got to put quotation marks around what they say. And then I also have to indicate, so, oh, I wanted to show you this. I delete that period, and then I'm going to put P1. That stands for paragraph 1, and my period goes on the outside of the parentheses. So not at the end of the sentence. The end of the sentence is actually the end of the citation, in-text citation. Got it? So for every single quote you like, you may find several quotes in this one article. For every quote you like, you need to make sure you do the same thing and then explain right here why you actually chose that one, okay? So how is this going to help me? When it's time for you to write your body paragraphs, you see right here where it says follow up with evidence, quotes, and information from your research. So every single paragraph I write, I may have several quotes and citations. So I should see quotation marks and I should see parentheses in every single paragraph you write. Okay? So that is how, again, every single paragraph, I need to see some research because you have a point that you're making. It's your first reason, it's your second reason, and where did these reasons come from? When you said there were 3 reasons for the opinion you had them here, you put them here, then you had to add your 3 reasons after you did your thesis, then you had to have your 3 reasons here also, your thesis, which had your 3 reasons. So now I have 3 reasons and my body paragraphs, reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, and all of those are supported with research. Okay, if you notice, these other paragraphs are about what your opposition is saying, okay, what the other side is saying. So you have your concession, in case you didn't have that. So that means you should choose one of these that you really liked. So when it says a concession statement down here, when we're writing right here where it says your concession, it should be one of those statements, and you can rewind the video and go back and see what those were. Okay? Opposition, I need to write what my opposition may be saying. I suggest you talk to someone else in the class who has a very different viewpoint as you, and you could fairly summarize what they're saying. Just, this is what the opposition believes, and you can really go into depth there. And then here is when you say, I agree with this one point, but I really must point out, and then you disagree. You find your points where you disagree with them, and then you just start setting up your whole argument. This is what we call your argument. Your argument are your 3 reasons, okay? It's not you having a fight with someone. It is all of your reasons for your opinion. Okay, so hopefully you understand now how you're supposed to use the evidence from the articles that from where you've been doing all of your research. All right, guys, excellent work so far.